modern art of Kazakhstan, from idea to realization, for the faces and details that usually remain behind the scenes, what inspires artists, what is their creation process, on what artists and poets, musicians and playwrights reflect upon, how do they present themselves to the world, how do they express the essence of their era. Together with Carmine Barbaro, we immerse into the world of creative search, into an atmosphere of trial and error, discoveries and revelations.
My name is Carmine Barbaro. 23 years ago, I came to Kazakhstan and stayed to live on this land because I fell in love with its people, culture and art. I teach Italian. I'm engaged in public life. But first of all, I'm an artist. The first foreigner European who was accepted as a member of the Union of Artists of Kazakhstan. And today, I decided to visit the lecture KZ Hall, watch the film Trans-Siberian Express, and chat with Jibek Tursunov. Lecture Hall is a social and educational place, and our task is to ensure that as many young people and all our citizens go to cultural events. Also, there is a movie club. Jibek has always wanted to show films for young people to come, not only adults, but also students who are studying directing, cinematography, to evoke a greater interest in good, quality cinema. In the world of fast food, this cultural space needs to be filtered, and nothing can filter so well as something real. I am talking about classical cinema. Surprisingly, people began to visit to see them, so it's interesting to the public. Actually, it was originally an initiative of the library. They said, come on, you are speaking at lecture halls, read lectures, communicate with people. Why not do it in the library? I said, let's try. Because it is necessary mainly for young people who are confused, who are under the informational press, who do not know where the truth is or a lie. And then gradually, it began to acquire another targeted audience. Older people started to come. And now everything is mixed up. Both adults and younger people come. We watch a movie once a month, some from my list, and on my list there are more than 100 movies. These are the movies based on which I was taught at the time in Moscow, on the course of scriptwriters and directors. I love Jibek Tursunov too much, so at his invitation, at the first call, I am here. The viewer is our support. These are our critics who evaluate our work, so we cannot lose contact with them. I love my spectators. I appreciate men for the intellect, talent, if I'm lucky, and for generosity. And generosity is not only the ability to throw out a lot of money on women, although this counts too, but also to do something for free. He has this movie club. It's basically free project, free for the audience. He wants, as he himself said, to show people, including young people, that there is a real movie, because now people are used to simulacra and do not understand what the nature of a good product should be. The lecture hall itself differs from concerts and creative evenings, which other people visit by the fact that we have live communication. We always have the opportunity to ask the speaker a question. Questions are asked in writing. At any event, people write questions. We transfer them to the stage and our speakers answer. It is always a sold-out event, every time a full hall, and I am happy to participate in the popularization of this project. People miss life's sincere dialogue with clever people. And here is Jibek's secret in his sincerity and honesty before people, in front of himself and the depth of what he says. In Kazakhstan, Jibek Tursunov is known not only as a talented director, but also as an author of excellent journalism. This again is not my idea. It's Vadik Bareko. He knows that I have been writing stories for a long time. Some short novels, some I have retold. He said that it can be interesting to people, and let's publish it. I persuaded the guys from the site rattle.kz to start publishing it, and journalism and stories. And so it continues for the second year. And the end of the last year, I figured and said, Jibek, I think we have enough of material for the whole book. And the collection was really published. We structured it together because it was just a lot of memories, a lot of stories, some documentary, and it turned out to be a wonderful book, a wonderful collection, and it was released successfully in Kazakhstan with a circulation of 2,000 copies, and the first edition was scattered. The first edition in 2 months. This is a very good indicator for the book chain, which I cannot boast of. I have already worked out over the years some kind of schedule, and it's my own way of working. I work almost every day, without Saturdays and Sundays, and it just turned into a second skin. We live this way. This is a way of life. In the morning I get up, drink tea, sit down and begin to look and edit what I wrote the day before. And I write following my own technique. I wrote something, postpone it, and never read it, and I never edit it. There are things that I put off in general in a long box, then it takes 6 months. I pull it out from there. I start to look at it. He is now a publicist. As a writer, he does not yield to himself as a director. This is at an equally high quality level, and he gained his popularity today because of his current writing. Today I met Jibek Tursunov. Although I'm familiar with his work for a long time, I translated the picture Shal into Italian. I was very pleased to learn that this movie won the Grand Prix at the Taormina Film Festival and won many other international awards. At the moment, Jibek Tursunov started to work on a new film. We are now with you on the territory of the film company Tursunov Film. We have started the pre-production and preparatory period for the film The Mechanic by Jibek Tursunov. So this is the most intimate and the most delicate period of the shooting process, the selection of actors. I am the head of the casting group. You can say that, and it is not our first collaboration. We select performers for those roles that we have in the script. We rehearse, we do screen tests, we look at the cast. This is always a very laborious work. Film people are like that. They believe in all kinds of prejudices and do not talk about their future film projects, only very carefully. We started. At the moment, the working title of the film, The Mechanic. There is also another working title, The Gospel of Tarzan. We have already shot 8 minutes in Budapest. The rest of the filming will be shot in Kazakhstan. If everything goes well, then maybe next year we will finish it. This film, as always, is a parable. As always, the main character is somewhat similar to our director. All his characters are always a bit like him. A picture shows how a person lives this life alone, but tries to be useful to all people. Jibek Tursunov's films are all special. His film vision is very authentic. Philosophical cinema, film utterance, cinema position. What was always called the art of cinema, not a series, not a blockbuster, not a comedy, it is the art of cinema. Man, he's like a hedgehog. He's born and is made of the needles. And then life begins to break him, bit by bit. And at some point he becomes such a kolobok. Kolobok is a former hedgehog. I have not so many needles left, but those that are left, they stuck in. And well, now I don't have anything to please the viewer with. On the other hand, of course, I want people to like the movie. Every new film is always a risky business. In general, I envy confident people. Recently, I met with young guys. They even call a movie a business project. such a thick folder, and the goal to receive an Oscar. By 2018, I cannot do that. Now it's hard to say which one will see the light of day sooner, a new film or another book by Yermek Tursunov. The work is on, and I am sure that it will certainly be done in a talented and professional manner.